Welcome to the Dante Elephante podcast. I am just editing the episode now. This is episode 95 with AmirSaysNothing. This episode is from a different time before the elections. I think when I was listening back, Biden had just done his debate with Trump. And so that's kind of where we are in this conversation. This is right before I left on tour with Hot Freaks. I guess we haven't really talked since I was in the middle of that tour. Maybe I did another episode, but yeah, that tour was awesome. And it was really great to go out into the world and see everyone and go see the United States. And again, we love every opportunity we can to see the United States. And yeah, it's great to be back here in Santa Barbara. I put out a vlog too. Kind of showcasing the last week before I went on tour. It was a little chaotic. We had a show, we hit the studio, recorded a song, and go watch that if you have a chance. Right now, Dante Elephante has no shows. We're just making the album. Right now, we have broke ground on the album. I can say that much. Drums are being edited, and drums are being edited right now. So after that, I'll move on to bass, move on to keys, move on to guitar, and do all that fun stuff. But today's episode is with AmirSaysNothing. I met Amir in 2017. We played a festival in LA at the Hi-Hat, which is no RIP the Hi-Hat, and in Highland Park. And yeah, he was there. I think he played it was a day-long festival. Maybe it was like 2 days or something like that. La Batalla Fest. It was like right when we got home from South by, so that was kind of something cool to look forward to. And it was cool to meet him, and we just became internet friends and kind of kept in touch the whole way. And yeah, he reached out. He's got an album coming out soon, so he reached out and sent me the album. The album sounds awesome. I listened to it, before we did this interview, and it's really great. I can't wait for you guys all to hear that. But this also is my first rap hip hop artist on the podcast, and we're breaking new ground here. It's cool to talk to somebody else. It's cool to see the crossing lines between hip hop and indie. And at the end of the day, it's all art, and it's all struggle, and it's all fun and difficult all at the same time. But yeah, I hope you guys all really like this episode. I don't know if he's announced anything about his new album yet, but I know that there is something coming. I've listened to it already, and I think you're gonna like it too. And yeah, that's pretty much me. I hope everyone's doing all right. It's been a little while, but I hope everyone's doing all right with the election and all. And yeah, let's keep it rolling, man. Enjoy the episode. No Dante Elephante shows until next year, and I don't think I can announce that yet. Other than that,
yeah. All right, cool. Here we are.
We are rolling. Episode
check.
Well, I don't know which number this will be, but yeah, with AmirSaysNothing, man.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Been good. It's a nice hot day in LA, and
yes.
Yeah, we're just talking about the debate that just happened. If anyone's curious and where our timeline is, yeah, the debate just happened.
Yeah.
And my take was that if this is going to be the two dudes, I'll see y'all in November. I'll put my vote in, but I'm not paying attention to this shit.
Not excited about it.
If it's going to be like this, I'll see y'all in November. Fuck that.
No, definitely not hyped, I should say. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is it right here.
Yeah,
hey.
this is it.
Here we got a hurricane and a tornado. Which one do you want? You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, man. Dude, all right. Yeah, so let's just start from the top, from the beginning. We met each other at a show in LA in 2016.
Dude, this is a long time ago.
That was a long time ago now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How'd you get involved in that show? How were you there?
That was the La Batalla one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was friends with the homie Joseph, who was a part of that band Santoros.
Oh, yes.
And they had the festival or whatever.
Yes.
And I think they were getting booked through John, who was with CeeLo Agency.
That's right, yeah.
So they had the festival, and we just, play this year kind of thing. And I was cool, hell yeah, I'm down. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was getting my little summer festival vibes going on. And yeah, it was a good time. I was happy to be
That was
there.
at the old Hi-Hat in Highland Park.
Yeah.
The Goldfish or something like that.
Yeah, man. And I saw your set, and I was like, sick. That call me on the phone, that shit got me.
Yeah. Like, hell yeah.
Still stays in the rotation to this day.
Nice.
So,
I love that.
What I mean?
Dude, that was was it 2016? No, it wasn't 2016. It was like 2018 because we had just done South by Southwest.
Yeah.
2018, we had just done South by Southwest. I booked a lot of that tour by myself, and then one with this random dude who like booked us some like terrible fucking gigs.
Yeah.
But
it was a whole other lifetime ago.
It was a whole other lifetime ago, and it was. I did South by just so I could say I did South by.
Yeah.
But I was like, this might, and I don't care if I ever play South by again, but like this might be the worst festival I've ever fucking.
Well, dude, every year actually people are like, "Oh, are you gonna do like South by?" And I'm like, booking and all this kind of shit. It's like, it kind of always sneaks up on me too fast.
Yeah.
And I
it's
don't
it's March. I didn't even plan it.
Didn't even have a plan. And I'm always like, oh, I could go and like, do the whole like hangout network thing.
Sure.
But I roll with the universe, man. If the universe is like, yo, you're supposed to go to Coachella, if the universe is like, you're supposed to go to South by, then I will be there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And if not, I don't really like stress it. So
my awkward wannabe networking story at that same South by, we went to the Stones Throw like party thing they did, where they had like, we were watching Kiefer, just shred, and I saw Peanut Butter Wolf.
Hey,
and
shout
I was
out
like,
to Wolf.
Shit, this is my chance to meet him.
I
got my pitch. What's up, Dante Elephante? I love that you're like bringing in rock bands now to the label. Like,
hell yeah.
Let me just tell you about myself real quick.
You got any room on the roster?
Right. So I saw him. I waited for like 45 minutes, and then he left the backstage area. Here's my time. I walked up to him. I was like, Peanut Butter Wolf. He's like, what's up, man? Patted me on the shoulder and walked away. I was like, damn it, dude. There goes my fucking elevator pitch.
Like, there was my networking at work. Hey.
Dude, I also, that was at South by, but when I was living in Highland Park, I also waited outside their door.
Oh, really?
With the CD in hand.
That's
would call
so
me
funny.
on the phone.
That's hard.
And I was like, this is going to be that story. This is the story where you're waiting outside and Peanut Butter Wolf's like taking a lunch, and I talked to him.
That's right.
And some lady walked down. She's like, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for Peanut Butter Wolf. She's like, no, it doesn't work like that. I was like, oh, I have a CD.
Like, this is not 1998.
It would have worked in 1998, but it does not work like that anymore.
I know. But shout out to Stones Throwing.
I love that
Wolf,
label,
man.
And I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah. If anything, I mean, I don't want to give away anybody's whereabouts, but they're Highland Park based. If you spend enough time in Highland Park,
totally.
I accidentally become homies with like somebody on Stones Throw just because like, I was just at the fucking Gold Room.
Yeah, the Gold Room, totally.
Gold Line.
Gold Line.
Yeah. There's a Gold Room, a Gold Line.
Gold Line, yes, the Gold
Line.
Line.
Gold Diggers. Shout out to Gold Diggers.
And Gold Diggers, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to take the Gold Line when I was living in LA. I would go from Highland Park all the way to Chinatown. I worked at Burger Lords.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I worked there for like a month, and then they fired me.
I'm a burger connoisseur.
Oh, you really?
Yeah. But the best burger in LA is Trophy's Burger. My man Gio.
Okay, I haven't even heard of that place.
Fairfax. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you got to go check them out, man.
I keep seeing TikToks about the burger scene in LA. Like, what's the Burgers Never Say Die?
Burgers Never Say Die is another good one.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Burger She Wrote is another one. There's a lot of burgers.
That scene's blowing up.
Yeah. Because the Smash Burger got like really popular, and then people kept like making like Smash Burger restaurants. You know what I mean? But the funny thing, like, I mean, my boy Gio does like all different types of shit. It's not even I don't even think he does a Smash Burger. Technically, it's like he does like patties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he'll do like Wagyu beef and shit like that, and he's good, man. He's the man. That's my dog.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Trophies.
There you go. Trophies in LA. Hit it up.
Gio.
So we met at that show.
Yeah.
We started following each other. When did you get into rapping, hip hop?
Well, so I mean, obviously, being a child of like the 90s, 2000, it's like, this is like our culture as a collective, I feel like. Aside from even just like, black people and black culture, it's that was, we're children of like the MTV boom of like, all the like from like gangster rap to like club early 2000s rap. So obviously growing up, being a fan of it. But when I was like 16, my friends used to just like freestyle in the car and shit. Cool. And they were like, oh man, try it. You know what I mean? Like, so I did. And then I was just better than I thought I would be.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if like I would consider it good now. It was just like, oh wow, I can put rhymes together. You know what I mean? So, and it's funny because like when I was a kid, I played violin and like I wanted to play drums, but my issue, I always tell people, is like, you know, you want to be good already. You're like, I want to get on this shit and just like kill it. So the learning was always hard, you know what I mean? And I've learned kind of with like how I learn stuff is if I can like inadvertently teach myself, like learning how to rap, like just being like, oh, I would, you know, listen to songs. Like I've always been like a sing along kind of person.
Yeah.
I like to know like all the lyrics to Mariah Carey, to Bone Thugs, to everything. So I think I'd like taught myself like cadence and you know, putting shit together from trying to like mimic them when I'm listening to them. So when it came time to putting my own together, you know, at first you kind of reference, you know, maybe if I'm listening to a Bone Thugs beat, I try to rap like Bone Thugs, but just put my own words in. And then over time, I just kind of sharpened that tool. It used to be like a little party trick. Like I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking go over here and rap. You know what I mean? Like, and then like the whole party would be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like kind of thing. And then, over time, I always like tried to be better. Like I'd always be like, oh man, I do this thing, and I'd notice what I would like do that I didn't like, and I try to work on it. And you know, before you know it, friends were like, oh, get in the fucking studio. And,
oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even that, I was like pretty hesitant to, because I don't know, growing up, I was never like, I grew up in, you know, that space of hip hop was a lot more like flashy and type of thing than of a person
Early
that
2000s.
I am or I was, you know, I mean, still am. So I didn't see myself in it that much until I started seeing like Souls of Mischief and shit like that. And I was like, oh, this shit is cool. Like, you know, these are rappers who are like, you know, their videos, they were like in the woods and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and they weren't like chained out. They were wearing like big army coats and polo shirts and shit like that. So I was like, you know, I started to see people who were what I would almost, you know, feel more aligned with. And then the big one though is I went to a Warped Tour in like 2008 or 2007, 2008.
Nice,
and Gym Class Heroes was on.
Oh yeah.
And I fucking saw Travie McCoy up there, and I was like, damn, like he was up there in a white tee and dunks, and he had like the band behind him with a fitted hat, tatted the fuck up. And me at like 17 and shit, I was like, damn, like that was like, there's a guy who, because I had a lot of homies in bands, you know, still like I kicked it with bands a lot. So I was like, oh man, there's someone who's like what I could see for myself. And that was probably like really the first time I was like, all right, cool. Like I don't even think I was planning on I wasn't planning on making music, but I identified with something. Yes. And then that kind of, you know, spiraled me back more into where I ended up.
I don't even know if he gets enough credit for doing that.
Bro, like
he was that crossover, that bridge.
Yeah.
Like they were on Fueled by Ramen. Like that was like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, and Gym Class Heroes. Like they had guitar and drums
and had a fucking Lil Wayne feature on like
totally like
Viva La White Girl remix and shit.
God,
like that shit was tight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like nobody was doing that. Like at all. Like
and they had that song with Patrick Stump that like got major airplay.
Yeah.
Like, what are they up to now? Have you ever?
They're amazing. Yo, so actually what's crazy is last year I actually met Travie McCoy.
No way.
Yeah. I was at Run the Jewels was doing their like I think it was 10 years of Run the Jewels. So they did 4 nights at the Palladium. Cool. They did 4 nights in New York, 4 nights in Chicago, 4 nights in Atlanta. LA was the Palladium. And they did Run the Jewels 1, 2, 3, and 4. I went to Run the Jewels 2 night.
Nice.
And fucking, I like looked to like my left, and Travie McCoy's like standing behind me, and I was like, holy shit! And we actually had just like followed each other on Instagram, like maybe 2 months beforehand. You know, I just was like, I think I was like showing him love on the gram one day, and then maybe he just like followed me back. So I was like, man, I gotta meet Travi one day, and then he was fucking right next to me.
You put that out into the universe,
dude. It was like,
it was out there, and the universe provided. He showed up. He appeared.
I was like, yes, see the universe, man, hold me down, because that's a major like full circle moment because of everything I just mentioned. Just so I was like, yo, whoa, man, you know what I mean? Like,
did he know? Then he was like,
we were like, we took a photo. It's on the ground. I'll send it to you.
All right, sick.
It's tight. Yeah. Shout out Travi, man.
Dude, that is cool. I love when you get to meet some of your heroes like that.
Dude, the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Like people, I posted this photo with Andre 3000 the other day.
I saw that.
And people are always like, oh, people say like don't meet your heroes, and I'm like, oh, you got the wrong fucking heroes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, you gotta look up to.
Okay, what's the story behind that? How'd you meet Andre?
So 3 Stacks, that was just like I was at Complex Con, and obviously like Outkast is my favorite group of all time, like #1 influence, period. You know, and I was at Complex Con. And people were like, oh man, Andre 3000's here. And I was like, no the fuck he's not. Like, I'm always like that person. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
And if you like follow him, like, why would he just be like, here? Why would he be here?
Why would he be here?
This seems like something he would hate. He would hate this.
He would hate this. You know what I mean? Like, so that was where I was coming from. And not less than like, it was like 2 minutes later, I was like walking through a crowd. And then Andre 3000 is coming the opposite way. And I'm like, oh. Like, I only had time to be like,
photo.
And we like, no. We just shook hands and like kept it moving, right?
Oh.
Didn't even get a photo. Nothing. So then like a few days later, I was telling my friend like the story or whatever. I was with my man DeMar, and we were on La Brea, and a fucking silver Dodge Charger pulls up, and who hops out? Andre 3000.
What?
Across the street. And I was like, nah, like, you know, so I just like ran over there to like just chop it up real quick. You know what I mean? So I was like, the universe, man.
Yeah. And then you could ask for the photo. Hey, I saw you like 2 days ago. Like,
yeah, exactly. Just like, yo, man, like, you know, I'm not like the kind of guy that like, I mean, I'm never.
Right.
I'm never too cool to go like talk to people that I'm like, especially in this, because I look at musicians like we're like knights or gladiators or, you know what I mean? It's like of art, you know, but it's like you want to like give, it's cool to see someone and be like, dude, you know, I've like grown up on like everything you've done. You know what I mean? You could say that to people without, I think people get it in their heads of like trying to be cool or something.
Right.
But it's like, why would you try to be cool?
Yeah.
If you saw Prince right here, what do you think I'm gonna? You think I'm gonna fucking not talk to Prince? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
I mean, shit. You're not going. You know, it's human like interaction. Like, sure, some people are assholes, but like, you telling somebody, hey, the stuff that you did impacted me, has never steered me wrong personally.
I think where people get messed up is when they walk up to someone like an Andre and be like, dude, I got this album, you know, and now you're selling him something. He's like, I don't fucking have time for that. Like,
no.
Who has time for that? Like, but if you're coming from a place of like, let me give you something, that is not, if it's just love,
just
and
love.
It's like, it's just love. They're
just
like,
love.
oh, cool, thanks for, you know,
exactly, because he's in the middle of his day. Like, I don't know, you know, for better or worse. Like, I used to work at a flight club on Fairfax.
Okay,
and like, we would get all kinds of people in, and I remember my man Court was like, L.A. Reid was in there a lot, and I was just like helping him with shoes and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, man, like, you gotta start like telling these fools like you rap and shit. And I was like, for what? You know? What I mean? Like, I mean, he had a point. Like, maybe you can mention, I guess, but I was coming from more of a place of being like, I never look at anybody and be like, you are going to be like my saving grace,
my
you know?
ticket,
Nah, because one, I mean, like you said, some people, it's like they're not trying to be like sold to in a conversation, and that's a lot more like you want something. The only thing I want is to just like communicate what I've always wanted to communicate, and now that you're in front of me, like, I'm just like, man, you're the man. Totally. Like, that's it. Like, what more needs to be said? If you find my art, if you find my music, if we reconvene at another time, if you ask me like about myself, then we can talk about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like other than that, like
in this moment where Ellie Reed's looking for shoes.
Yeah, I'm just like
what are you
cool.
gonna do? He's gonna be like, oh, okay. Like I can just see, just like,
yeah.
Hey man, I rap. And he's like, okay,
sick.
Yeah,
9. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's great. Keep at it. Yeah, that's like the most advice they'll ever give you.
That's
like,
what people. That's dude. I used to ask like. I never even like asked too many people like advice per se, like any of these people, and like I'm friends with like quite a few of my own like little musical childhood heroes in that way. And like when I was at a period of like asking for advice, I guess like early on, you know, just being like, man, maybe let me ask him, what should I do? That was always the answer. Like, yo, just keep going. You know what I mean? And I was like,
that's what I did.
Yeah. So after a certain point, you're like, why the fuck do I keep asking for? I'm not gonna keep asking so you can be like, hey man, just keep doing do exactly what you're doing.
I had bands in Santa Barbara who asked me that all the time. I was like,
yeah, just keep going.
I do what I do. I have done nothing but keep going.
Yo,
just keep doing it. I have done nothing but like keep playing shows.
Yes.
Keep booking tours if you can. You know, keep trying to get those opening slots.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. You just keep doing it,
dude. I mean, that's the thing.
I still don't know how to do. People are like, how'd you get an agent? I don't know.
I have no fucking clue.
I have no clue.
I don't know, man. I put out some songs. I played some shows. I mean, when I've had agents, I mean, we book through ourselves, right? When I've been signed to people's agencies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like. Because even now, I like think about what did I do before to get X opportunity, Y opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I was just like playing my own shows and putting out my own records, the same shit I'm doing now. So that's it. That's the answer. You know what I mean? And it's good. Like I think you got to go through that as like a young musician and be like, can I asking people to learn, or hopefully you get that like they don't have an answer for you like that. You know, they can, even people who can give you opportunities really are just going to see you doing your own thing and be like, oh, I like what you know what I mean?
Totally.
I like what you do. Let me like, yo, come play on my tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come to my studio. Let's like work on a joint. You know what I'm saying? And
how have you seen like booking shows as a hip hop artist? Like, how's that changed? Because when I worked at a venue in Santa Barbara, like in the middle of the 2010s, that kind of era, and we had Migos and we had Freddie Gibbs, we had all these people before they popped, and the openers would be like still having to do pay to play.
Yeah,
is that still a thing? Because rock got out of pay to play.
Yeah.
Like, shit like the Roxy. The Roxy's not like that anymore, but I played the Roxy when it was pay to play.
Yeah.
Is it still like that?
I mean, I think that, okay, so like hip hop, rap being like a culture where there is like, not to throw this on people, but like scamming that people do to each other.
The promoters.
Promoters, like whatever.
Not
you know,
the headliners sometimes aren't doing that shit.
Nah, I mean, shit, I've never paid to play in my life.
Totally.
I've done shows where we got tickets and we could sell tickets to make money.
Yes.
But you were on the show, period.
Yeah,
you know
if you sold 5 tickets, they're not going to be like, hey, where's the rest?
No, then you got 5 fucking people.
Yeah.
But if you sell your 10, your 20, everything north of that was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could make more money.
And I'm cool with that, like I consider that. I mean, now I'm graduated from it, but at the same time, it's like, even in retrospect or when I was doing it, I was like, oh, this is cool because it just inspired me to like hustle, like fundraising almost, It's like, if you're selling fucking chocolate covered popcorn, you know what I mean? And it's like, hey, sell 15 tubs and then everything north is your profit.
Yeah, here's like 25 tickets.
Yeah, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're not asking you to sell like 300. They're asking you to sell 25. Can you do 25 for this
25
15 20 minute set? Like,
how bad do you want it? It's like, call 20 of your friends and be like, I had friends, shout out to my man Henry, my man. I remember he bought like a couple tickets and was like, I'm not gonna go, but I was like,
I'll support.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, man. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it paid off. Like,
okay, so that with that perspective shift,
Yeah.
I kind of get it. Like, you're getting the opportunity to open for, I don't know, LA version. One version I saw was Corrupt.
Yeah.
So Corrupt came to our club, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of locals, and they paid. They had the opportunity to sell tickets.
Yeah,
and make
yeah.
some money.
Yeah, cool.
And you get to play in front of you get to play in front of Corrupt's crowd.
Yeah, exactly, and that's cool.
And his audience. You know?
I think, I mean, to all artists out there, you should definitely like avoid pay to play.
Yeah.
Just from the idea of like, you know, it's people like getting over on you.
Yeah.
Like there's paying dues, and then there's just like people getting over on you. You know what I'm saying? Like if this isn't going to, you know, if you know, I don't know. We'll use Corrupt since you made it.
Sure.
If Corrupt was like, yo, $100 you can get on this show.
Yeah.
That might be more beneficial to you just because like he is who he is.
Yeah.
But like most of the people who like most things in this business, it's like people who are legit like aren't trying to do illegit things anyway. So you really don't have to, kind of helps you like identify like, oh, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Or this is like a real thing that I'm gonna take serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah.
Okay, I get it. I'm always trying to wrap my head around how like other industries do it, because it's like it's so different from like comedians to rappers to bands. And it's all still the same premise: sell tickets, get people through the door, you make your money.
Yep.
But there's just so many different nuances, and the expenses, you know, are so different too. Like I know from a band perspective, we look at comedians and rappers, we're like, oh, it'd be so sick. It's just you.
Yeah.
There's no, and maybe a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, that's just you. And you guys are hanging on the tour, and you guys are making, you know, you don't only have to split, or you don't have to split at all. You don't have to split anything. It's just you're making all the money. For us, it's like the gas, the van, this, the that. And then it's like, oh, it adds up, dude, until there's like nothing left to like shit.
Well, but that's the thing is like, even because like we've toured the country a few times now, and like I've went on a tour where I, you know, had to figure that out as we went.
Yeah.
I've been on a tour. Like now, you know, I've been in situations where like, okay, I almost like paid for everything we needed up front, and I just recouped back whatever we made. And, you know, thankfully I was in a financial position to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, it makes like your experience better, obviously.
Totally.
And you could just be like,
cars paid for.
Yeah,
hotels.
cars paid for, hotels, flight, if you take flights, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, and I mean, it's funny because I am close or have been friends with bands. That's the thing. Like, I think it's two things. Like, I have the independent spirit of a band.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm friends with bands. So I've watched
guys
like you guys get out in vans and drive around and fucking stay at hotels. So like that was never like off the table for me. If anything, I was like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I think that a lot of people in hip hop, because of the idea, see, hip hop has a lot of the like rap, whatever you want to, you know, it has a lot of the make it look like something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people like don't understand like, yo, you're not just going to like get put on some like tour and be in a tour bus and like fly around the country and shit necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
It could happen though.
It could happen.
Yeah.
But my first tour was in a fucking Nissan Sentra with no AC in the fucking summer. You know what I'm saying? Like my manager at the time had drove us out there. It was me and my boy CJ. We were DJing. You know, or he was DJing for me, and we stayed at his house and stayed at a girl's house I knew in Arizona and stayed out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and shout out to everyone who lets you crash at their house, man.
Thank you.
That shit saves.
Yo, listen.
You don't realize we're looking at all the expenses. You're like, oh, thank God, so and so lets crash at their place. Like,
I know. Shout out to that. You know,
saved us $120, $200. You know.
Yeah, I mean, had some hotels lately, which is great. You know, but I'm like, but that's the thing. You get there. Getting there, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's just, I'm glad that I've been around bands, because the bands have almost been more my metric than rappers have been. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, because rappers, I mean, you never really know with rappers. No. Like, the beautiful thing about, I think, even like, you know, just indie music bands, whatever, the transparency between like audience and the group is a lot more like appreciated, embraced. I don't know about expected, and this is just from like a rapper looking in. But you know what I'm saying? You guys could be on tour in like a fucking 1988 Winnebago and like post about it, and it's cool.
It's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like rap hip hop, it like runs this risk all the time of people being like, oh man, like look at that beat down band or some shit. But it's like, and I mean, fuck all that. I don't even, if that was me, I'd be like, I'll kiss my ass.
I'm playing these shows. You know?
It's just the idea that even exists.
Yeah, because it's like you're not as well off. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I thought you'd be,
But neither is anybody the fuck else, and that's what's funny when you get to know, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not like a pocket watching person. No. But
it's hard. It's hard to have a career, and it's hard to make money, and there's these expenses that are coming. Studio time costs money. All this stuff costs money, so it's like. You guys don't realize like it's a lot of work, you know, and making merch costs money, and like blah blah blah, and all these other things. It's just it's a full-on business, man.
Dude, even just like music videos and like the idea that like once I like came to a place of learning like, oh, none of these cars are necessarily these people's cars. Oh, photo shoots, this may not be this person's car. I'm like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Like it really is like there's a whole, I mean, and sure, like you could say the audience, you would hope, could figure that out on their own. Yeah. But if you're presenting it as such, what's the audience supposed to fucking know? You know what I mean? Like you filming in this house, they might assume it's your house or something. You know, it's like you have to. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors that goes on in rap and shit. So I try to not get lost in smoke and mirrors of things, even in how I present myself. Because then I don't know, it just seems more like a mental prison than anything. You know what I mean? Like
it's really hard to play the role all the time. It's like it's either you or it's not you. And it's I just think like it's like the same thing with this podcast. Like people are like, are you like on the, it's like, dude, how could I fake this? And then like go on stage and be somebody. It's like it's all me. Like I can't put that much energy in having a different personality on this and then on this, and then it's like it's all I'm just trying to stay the same dude
all the time
on and off camera.
Like literally, like I was like I feel like recently, like you throw away clothes every year and shit, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm tired of like changing my fashion sense every 4 years because we're baggy, then we're slimmer, then we're doing this. I've been on this thing where I'm like, what can I wear until I'm like 50 years old? Not saying I'm going to do that, but just like these pants.
More timeless.
I know I don't have to get rid of these pants. You know what I mean? You can not be like, I'll pull them out when I want some baggy jeans to wear. I'll wear my slim one. You know, I'm just like, I want to be like the same, just like me, and not have to be like something I've like concocted, you know?
Nah, I'm kind of happy baggy jeans are back.
Me too.
Like I always had like bigger, because I don't really. Once I just committed to shorts all the time, I was a happy man. But in the 2000s, I was trying to like, I was like, maybe I should get in the pants, be more adult. And this was like 2003, so every jeans, all the jeans were baggy. All my jeans were baggy. Like
hell yeah,
that was just the time.
I'm glad it's back too, because
I know it looks cool. I like it,
and it's comfortable. Man.
It's way more comfortable than
comfortable. Man.
I never even got into the skinny jean thing. I'm not squeezing my ass into skinny jeans. But
you got like Action Bronson. He was on the same shit. God, he was like, he's just like running shorts,
big shorts, all
shorts.
I was trying to do. I've been like, I always like to mess with my look, like with the facial hair or whatever. So I was doing shaved head beard like action, and I just got tired of it. Dude, I can't have this. Like I
remember that you were.
I see him eat, and he's like covering his beard so he can eat. I was doing that. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
No, trust me. Even with like this is like been my like my album facial hair, I guess. And I mean, I'm cool. It's like all the time, but I just like have not. This is not shaven. This is like I trim like my the cheeks,
the excess.
But all this shit is growing. My mustache. This is like the longest this shit has ever been. And the same thing. Like I'll eat and I'll just have to be like, let me make sure my mustache is cool.
I know.
I keep napkins on me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to get caught slipping.
I think my next move is gonna be like a Pat Riley vibe.
Yeah.
With the slick. Because I used to slick my hair. My dad still slicks his hair back like that.
Yeah.
But I might do that for the next record. I don't know.
Run it.
So I'm letting it grow. right now.
Dude, Slickback would be hard.
Dude, Pat Riley. I just started watching that Winning Time.
Yeah.
That HBO. Did you watch that?
No, I need to because it's
good. It's canceled, you know.
Yeah.
2 seasons, but I liked it. Yeah.
Oh, but it's still up there though.
It's still available online, but me and my dad just started watching it, and I was like, yeah, this is a good show. Like, you know, it's an expensive show to make.
Yeah.
It was like all like real film, but super cool show.
No, I love like sports shit. Like I'm also like I said, like musicians, gladiators and shit. And I feel like like what's the Michael Jordan one? Last Dance?
Yeah, that was huge
Last
for
Dance.
me and my dad. Yeah.
Even dude, I will watch like Remember the Titans and shit. Like you know what I mean? I just connect. Yeah. I connect. I feel like even, you know, obviously it's no secret that like musicians and athletes like each other, at least with rappers.
Totally.
Are into like, you know, being friends and shit. But I'm super like, I think it's like it's a oh man, you shot 1,000 free throws. I wrote 1,000 songs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And like when you like triumph or you get your championship, it's kind of that same feeling real quick. So
it's like we're both like working on the craft.
Yes, exactly.
And like chopping away until we get better. Like you were saying, like, oh, this is like Bone Thugs type beat. Let me do my Bone Thugs thing, but then like reel it in. And every time you do that, every new draft, every year that goes by, you start sounding more and more like yourself and
absolutely
developing your own style. And music is the same way, like writing songs and like this kind of sounds like Paul McCartney, like this is cool, and like, well, I can't sound too much like Paul McCartney.
Exactly.
How do I figure this out that I still keep what exactly is that essence that I'm looking for?
What was Paul doing?
But it's still me.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Paul
my
was being
part.
himself.
Paul was being himself.
That's what he was doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He was
like,
just trying to be himself.
No, I fuck with that.
No, it's great. Music is what unites all of us.
Gotta love it.
I haven't met a lot of football players or any athletes really. I feel like they all listen to country or hip hop. Like they don't listen to like where's the indie rock athletes?
That is true actually.
Yeah.
Like, there's not enough athletes that are on the indie vibe, you know?
I meet a lot of comedians.
Yeah.
A lot of comedians like that stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know what? I would say indie is a lot more, you know, it's a lot more like relax and tone throughout the genre. You know what I'm saying? Not to say there's high energy songs, but I think
right now with that bedroom pop kind of stuff, it's pretty laid back.
You know what I mean? And I feel like athletes, it's like, think about people in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be hard pressed to find someone. I mean, I'd go to the gym and listen to something indie, but I get I'll like go on a hike.
Yeah.
And there'll be like some buff ass dude out there with like a fucking Bluetooth speaker playing like Future super loud or like Migos super loud. You know what I mean?
Getting hyped.
And I'm like, and I'd be like, why the fuck is this like such a like a person? Like this person is in every park. They're at Runyon Canyon right the fuck now.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that music connects with people who are like, oh, I'm getting gains.
Yes, yeah.
They're talking about gains.
Totally.
We are gaining.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It
like,
connects with my mindset right now.
Exactly.
And then when you're just singing about this girl who left you, it's like, how am I supposed to work out to that?
But us artistic types probably would want to go do that. You know, like I'll hike and be like, and she left.
Yeah, totally.
There was a bag by the door.
And Glenn Campbell type shit. Yeah. By the time I get to Phoenix
anymore,
she'll be rising. At the gym the other day, I was listening to Weezer's Pinkerton.
Shout out to Weezer.
And man, I was like, I'm so glad I'm listening to this album now and not when I was like 18.
Yeah.
That album is just full of like, girls suck and I'm so angry.
Incel music.
It's straight incel music. Shout out to Rivers, but bro was on a serious incel kind of vibe in Pinkerton. And I was working out and I was like, damn, this album's weird.
I know. I listen to a lot of like, you know, lyricists and shit. Like I'll listen to a lot of older music now and have like that retrospective, like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is he talking about?
Like, I don't know, man.
What is Cameron talking about in this song? I love Cameron.
But even like R&B and shit. Like, motherfuckers were like begging for it, like begging, like, oh, girl, if I lose this chance. And I mean, you know, maybe that's what's wrong with like love and romance these days is everybody's like not in tune with their inner like beg for it. I need it.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I recently saw a TikTok pop up. It's like, where are the love songs?
Yeah.
We had love songs in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Even in the 90s, we had love songs.
Beautiful love
They
songs.
went away.
I don't know, man. It's like, you know, because, you know, art imitates life, whatever it be. It's like, as people's consciousness, it's the same thing with like social media,
right.
You know, it's like the sense of community that everyone really like leaned on and relied on amongst each other, as it slowly gets like, you know, inadvertently, I don't want to say like crossed out, because it still exists, but it's just like people not taking the time to like care for their for their neighbor and the relationships in their life. As we alienate ourselves from each other, the value of like love and partnership like goes down, you know what I mean? And then people write songs that echo that, you know, because there's a whole lot of like, I don't need right now, you know what I mean?
I'm
or like
independent,
and that's on men and women. That's not even like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like them, I like all the shit, but like even guys be singing like about like, oh, you know, I just can't do it right, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And I don't know, I guess people, I look at it, it's like pendulums, I guess, because you know, we've been alive long enough to see the very same thing that used to not be then be. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, maybe like the pendulum will just swing back, because people will get, you know, so tired of like independentness that they want some dependent in their life. You know what I mean?
One thing I've been thinking about as I'm making this next record is lyrics and seeing the other stuff that's popping online. Do you feel the pressure at all to write like little meme worthy lyrics? Because I'm seeing a lot of that, like you know that Sabrina Carpenter, that whole thing is a meme.
Instagram caption rap, they call it too,
okay, that's the equivalent.
You know, I don't I like do and then I don't, because I don't know. I think the way that I grew up, I kind of always went against some sort of grain anyway. You know, like I skateboarded when no one else was skateboarding. You know what I mean? I listened to music that no one else who looked like me was listening to at a certain time. You know what I mean? So I'm part of that generation. And through that, you become a person in your formative years where you're like, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, if everybody's just jumping off this bridge, I'm going to go find that bridge over there. So I think that, you know, I mean, if that's what people are doing, that's what they're doing. I think that, like, to me, it's like, I'm not going to go into, like, writing, like, with that kind of goal in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something struck me and I ended up like having
that's
fun,
funny. It's
have fun. Like if I'm not having fun with what I'm doing, then you know, then because it's the same thing. I used to have this like argument with my friend about like TikTok. Because you know I was slow to it, and now I've found myself like engaging with it.
Oh, good.
But what I always tell my friends who like maybe had a little bit more of a mindset like me was that like, you know, try to think of it as like, you don't have to like get on there and dance and like do shit you don't want to do if that's not in you. Because some people do it amazing. Some people have that like home set up with the ring light and they go like, wrote this song while I was, you know, like, oh, you know, he left me and took the cat. This is the song I made about it. And that shit blows the fuck up, you know?
And the lyrics are just so straightforward.
And that's their bad.
And that
you know what I'm saying? Like you only get lost in this shit when you start looking at like what someone else is doing in their pond, and now you trying to swim in their pond.
Yeah, true.
Make your own pond.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And not to say, you know, you can get influenced by stuff and bring it to that, but like if that strikes you, if you heard a fun beat and you were like, oh man, let's like make a whole Instagram caption song, and then when you finished, you were like, oh, this is actually kind of fire, you know what I mean? And put it out, you know?
Yeah,
that's how
the
I
advice
look at it.
Someone told me was that like, you know, the best ideas are the ones where you're laughing.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh my god, what if we did that? Like, what if we rented like you know, something like an Airbnb and it's like yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
You know, and those are always the best ones, and
yeah,
especially if it makes other people laugh. People like to engage in that kind of way. But yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, especially after that Sabrina Carpenter song came out. I was like, I had a moment where I'm like, am I supposed to be doing that? Because I don't have anything like that on my next record.
Yeah,
it's more about like, I don't know, being 30.
Well, hey,
you know what I mean? Like,
and that's what you're supposed to be
that's what you're supposed to be doing.
I mean, Mac DeMarco makes fucking songs about cigarettes.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like asking, you know, everybody.
Especially when cigarettes are like not cool.
Exactly.
Like, nobody's smoking cigarettes
Shout
anymore.
out to Mac DeMarco.
Yeah, shout out to Mac, man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a great, I bring him up because I've always like admired like how dude is like on his he's just doing his thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's like more what an artist should be like trying to figure out. Not what's gonna make me viral, not what's gonna make me pop, not what's gonna make me do this. Just like, how do I get more like me? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? How do I do like, you know what I mean? I remember like being like, man, I want like 1,000 plays, or I want 100,000 plays, I want 1,000,000 plays. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, put those things on the board, but I still didn't make that goal and then go to the studio and been like, all right, how do I make an 1,000,000 play song? You know what I mean? Like, I was just as surprised. Yeah. I was more surprised, I guess, maybe.
It's great. It's like, wow.
I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, shit, that shit's still going up. Oh, 50, 100.
It's cool. Like, it's cool. You're like happily surprised.
And if I could tell you how that lightning got captured in a bottle, I really can't tell you. All I know is that I've just tried to like keep being myself with every single and drop that I drop. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, hopefully the shit just the triangle aligns. And boom. You know what I mean?
And for those people who are like wondering, like when the song hits 1,000,000, your life does not change. No, you wake up the next day, you're like, oh, okay.
You're like, damn, like,
it's awesome. It's such an accomplishment. Great. And like, make the post it on Instagram. It's awesome. You deserve it. But like, the labels don't call you after that.
Not
like, that's what I thought. Was, once you hit 1,000,000, that's when the labels start calling. And then that happened to me, and I was like, oh, never mind. Just another day.
Private jet and a limo outside.
Yep. They're waiting for you. You know.
Well, you know what though? I think if anything, more than like that being, it's a good like experience to experience because consider it if this was like dollars,
right?
And you're like, yo, I woke up and I had 7 zeros in my bank account. I'm glad that I've like gotten to experience 7 zeros on my song because after that, if anything, like the funny thing that I guess, and you can relate to this, is like the backside of like achieving cool ass shit.
Yeah.
Is now that you're like, oh shit worked.
Yeah.
You know? Damn, now I have to like keep working it. Like you no longer, once that happens, like once you go on a big ass tour, once you get a big ass song, you know, it's like that old, like that's when the work starts. And the work isn't like, oh, get back to the studio and make another one.
No,
it's more like, okay, celebrate this today.
Yeah.
Validate yourself. And hey, you tried this thing and you worked at it. Yeah. You wanted success, right?
Right.
People be like, yo, success. What is success? You want to be an artist? You know what I mean? You have people who listen to you. Do you make art?
Right.
You're a successful artist.
Yeah.
There's various levels of success, and that's a money thing, and you gotta like that's a second goal. You gotta be like, now I want to be a rich artist.
Right.
Okay, cool. So now you figuring out how to be a rich artist, but they're different things, you know. And regardless, all I mean is just that it's like once that happens for you, you're able to go, okay, like let's try to abandon doubt as much as we can anymore because what I needed to be proven to me has just been proven.
Yes.
But you're still in your bed.
Yep.
Brush your teeth.
Yep.
Take a piss. Go to the gas station, get some gas, and keep making what you make.
Keep doing it. Keep creating. Yeah.
Keep doing it. That's it. You know what I mean?
It's true. It doesn't change. And you know, I was working at this management company for the last year or 2 years, and I was a social media manager. And I'd be running these bands with these massive accounts.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the same feed as yours.
Yeah.
Same everything else is yours.
Algorithms fucking them over too.
The numbers, yes. It's like just skewed. Like, oh, well, yeah, but that band, they get like 10,000 likes per post. I was like, well, yeah. And like 300,000 were supposed to see them.
Yes.
And now scale that down for you. You have 5,300 followers, whatever your followers are, you're still getting the same percentage of people seeing it.
Same math.
Like, it's just they want you to spend money on ads, guys. And I wish everyone could like swap algorithms or swap accounts for like a day and be like, oh, I'm on Drake's Instagram and it's no different than mine
at all.
It's the same exact thing
at all. And that's why you gotta pull your head. Everybody has to pull their head out of social media's ass because like. It's arbitrary, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's arbitrary. Like, yes, it can be a great vehicle to great things, but, like, it's not end all be all. It's not what you should be. I know people who almost, like, focus more on fucking social media than they actually do on, like, the songs that they make or the art that they put out. And I'm always like, I'm not here to, like, be anybody's grand judge, but I wish I could free them from that because man, like, go touch some grass. There's a whole world out here, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why I love doing that. That's why I love going on tour. It makes I don't look at my phone ever. Because you're running and gunning. It's like
you're
sound check.
Fucking life.
Yes.
You're
we're driving.
Life.
Sound check. Check into the hotel. Do this. Do that. Play the show. Sell merch. Like get food. Start getting food. Like never looking at your freaking phone.
When I'm on the road, same damn thing. Because there's no escapism. There's no like, what's going on and everybody's. You are so, and that's the thing too. It's like, I feel like when you actively like make a point to be like, how do I feel how I feel on tour or when it's show day?
Oh, right.
Like all the time. Like I want to feel like tour when it's like, just grocery day,
right,
or laundry day.
This is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing. There's nothing that you all are doing that is like going to take me outside of what I'm doing today. You know what I mean? And the closer I've gotten to that over the years, the happier I've been, the more peaceful I've been, and I feel like the better my shit is. You know what I'm saying? Like it betters. There's a reason like these Kendricks and shit of the world put up posts where he's like, I haven't touched a phone in months. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, look at this fucking song. That's why he's so good.
Oh my god!
Because he's not paying attention to what y'all doing like that, and you gotta. I think we all need to, especially us as like artists and creators. You have to get out of there and like create it.
Just
like,
keep creating. Yeah.
Answer's not in the phone.
The time I was like the least productive is when I was like stuck on my phone, stuck on TikTok, stuck on like and also just like not listening to a lot of music. I'd be listening to podcasts, which is great, like, and they're fun, but like if I'm not engaged with music and hearing what other people are doing, even not even in a modern sense, but like this band from the 70s, what were they doing? Like, oh wow. And like now that we live in this age, like there's an unlimited amount of music. Like there is like a section that I am like obsessed with called Lost Media, and what band was that? No one knows who they are anymore, but for the most part everything can be found. Everything is found, and you can like every day the algorithm will bring you a new band or a new artist, and you're like, wow, that's really cool they did that. And like it's this band from the 70s and they have like 5,000 monthly listeners. They have no monthly listeners,
dude, at all. And the best thing about that shit is like, and you know this because even like being an indie, like as opposed to like rap or bands, whatever you want to call it, it's like I know cats, or not even know cats, but I see people who are like, oh man, 100,000 followers on and never toured in their fucking life, and there's like a band with 1,300 followers that's like playing 500 cap rooms, so you know what I mean? It's like I said, paying attention to that made me it learned me a lot about like this smoke and mirror shit. You know what I'm saying? I went on a tour, it was the biggest tour I've been on to this day, and I had like 800 monthly listeners. Right. That shit, you know what I'm saying?
What was that tour?
That was when I was opening for Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. Shout out to Mike.
That was great. How'd that happen?
Dude, that was another like, another similar situation to like, not the Andre 3000 thing, but what we were saying about, you know, just not really ulterior motive being at all, you know. Like I was working on a project with my boy Alexander Spit, and he was like, oh, like having like this Linkin Park dinner, like you want to come? And I was like, fuck yeah, I love Linkin Park.
Yeah,
why not? Hell yeah, it'd be fun. So I went, and me and Mike just ended up talking about like hip hop for a bit. Like we just like, you know, just chopping up about music, you know what I mean? Like obviously me thinking like Linkin Park, even though his Linkin Park, you know, is fusion involved, and his solo stuff, he has a lot of rap and that same kind of thing, but more rap in the Mike Shinoda solo.
Yes.
I just wasn't even, you know, putting that together in my mind as being like, oh, we can collab on anything. So, you know, that was far out of my mind. I was just enjoying like having a conversation. And then we just like connected, and I think I like sent him some music. He had put it in one of his playlists.
Cool.
And then, he had like a tour come around, and we had had a conversation where I was kind of like, oh man, it'd be tight to, you know, or whatever, if you ever have anything going on, you know. And then he was like, actually, like, have all of this, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, wow, it was like one of those, like you said, like, that was like one of those like movie moments where it was like, this is the story.
This is how it works.
Because I was like, it wasn't like too far off. Like I think he was already like in the middle of that tour.
Oh, okay.
And I got added on like what was like the second to third leg.
Like the West Coast states or which ones?
No, it was the whole country, but it had did like South first, I think. Okay. So we didn't I did all the like Northern Midwest.
Oh, fun.
And West Coast. So it was like
that's a weird part of the U.S.
Salt Lake City. Yeah. Like Denver. Chicago.
Oh yeah. Those are good. Those are really fun cities. Yeah.
Dude, it was the best. But like, so that it was like already mid going on. So it was kind of like, oh shit, like, you know, this is like, how much money do we have in our bank accounts? Like, can we like figure out how to get this, get what we need to get out there? You know what I mean? And whew, thank God that like came through, because like that just, you know what I mean, that what more than anything, that was like the last, I mean, I doubt myself because I'm human,
right?
But that was like the last time I like doubted myself doing this, because I went out every night for, you know, his audience, and like they just like fucked with me and connected with it. That's cool. And you know what I mean? At that point you're kind of like, man, I'm on the right. Yes. I'm doing the right fucking thing. Totally. You know what I mean? And those little moments like validate that. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So what everything I've done since, you know, everything I'm actively doing now, it's like I have that moment and, you know, people like him to thank, because, you know, it just helped me feel that for myself, you know? So, yeah.
What were the logistics here? You're in LA.
Yeah.
Where did the tour start?
Well, we started Anaheim House of Blues.
Okay, House of Blues. Okay.
There was a Palladium show the night before, but I was playing like this Urban Outfitters gig that night. So, got it. And the Urban Outfitters gig had already started, so we jumped on for Anaheim. Nice. And then it was Anaheim.
Rented a car, rented a van.
Rented a car.
Rented
a car.
Nice.
And it was tight too, because
just the three of you? DJ, manager?
Me and the DJ.
Two
for, you know what I mean? Because my manager at the time was still back in LA, so he was like working and everything. Nice. And then we just hit the road together, and that was how my DJ Andy, that's my guy. He got on that tour. That was like our first working together, because I was, you know, touring. You know, you need like, you don't only need a DJ, but you need a DJ who can be gone. Yes. And travel around, and you know, has the sea legs to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was down for that shit.
He had toured before.
I think he has toured before, but he's just like a really chill dude who's like, he's always in good spirits, and he can drive his ass off.
That's you know what I mean? Like, that is an underrated comment. It's like, you have to be in good spirits. Like, as soon as things turn sour on a tour, it can be difficult.
No, and
to navigate around.
And it's great because, you know, like, as the artists or the people, like, you know, I don't know, everyone is sensitive, but like, we can be the sensitive people as far as like moods, life things going on. You know what I mean? Like our last tour, like I was like going through like some girl problems.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, so I'm like half talking to him about that, getting through or over that, and then like going and play a show. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's nice when you have people around you who are, you know, just like a little, he's a human being, he's got his own things, but at least in not just the working relationship, but the friendship, it's like able to kind of like help me through my nonsense so I can get out and do what I need to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I overvalue that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because anybody can get up there and press buttons, man. Like,
totally, yeah.
You need good people around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody can sell merch at a booth, but like, do you have a person at the booth who's
personable, who's polite and friendly and
packs the shit? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
The actual
like,
labor of it
isn't a drunk. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you gotta. It's important. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it plays a big role.
We're running businesses here. You know, like. No matter how big or how small,
totally.
It's like Amazon was
small
once
business owners,
Jeff Bezos in a fucking room by himself, you know, and you have to be able to like have a team around you and people that are, you know, just not only want to help you get to where you're trying to get and be a part of that, you know what I mean, but they have a good attitude about it.
Absolutely,
you know. And
do you have management right now?
Right now, I am. It's like I've got like my buddy Zach. He does a lot. It's like bookings and shows he helps me with, like the managerial tasks. You know, at times he shares with them almost on some like almost tour manage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I'll still handle like my business affairs myself. You know what I mean? And like, oh, I'm gonna do like this press thing. I'm gonna do this magazine thing. Like a lot of that I'll handle myself at this current moment.
Until it's too much, and then you gotta
exactly. And I've had management, not had management. It's kind of, you know what I mean. At this point, it's like I'd like an official manager, but I want one that's going to be for a reason, not just like so you can like stand next to me. We'll work together.
What's the line? I have all these old music industry tropes now, but it's like, don't get a manager until there's something to manage.
Exactly.
I think a lot of bands are trying to skip over that part.
I mean, everybody.
Like, we need a manager. We need this. And it's like, do you even have 10 to 15% you're supposed to give them? Like,
well, dude, that's the thing. Even like, because we've had booking agents. Yeah. It's like a booking agent is honestly more impactful for you than a fucking manager.
Oh,
anyway.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I 100% agree.
Like, you want a manager, sure, but like, what you really think that you don't know the proper language. The language what you're looking for is an agent. Because that person's actively like working on opportunities.
Yes.
You know, a manager can and should, I guess, be doing the same.
In tandem, they work together.
But at the same time, a manager is managing.
Yeah.
So if you're not like, there's nothing going on, you know what I mean? A manager isn't necessarily talking to the venue themselves, but an agent is going to bring you like money and things like this, tours.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, that's...
I know, you talk to bands like, I think we want to get like a manager. Oh, yeah, what do you want? Well, we just want to be playing more. It's like, well, manager's not going to do that for you.
Fucking get out there and book yourself then.
Book yourself, yes. And you get to keep your 10%, right?
Dude,
like,
I mean,
you get to make all of it. Like, if you just book yourself and negotiate for yourself and,
I mean, shit, even like I said, like the opportunities I've had, you know, I'm like booking myself since day one. My first show... I mean, my buddy had me on, my homie had me one-on-one, but like the first like release party, like I put that shit together. So, you know what I mean?
Where was that at?
Los Globos.
Okay,
Yeah. For my first like EP, Medium Rare is what it's called.
Nice.
And we had like a little show in like their upstairs room to the side. But it was fire, man. That room's like 200 cap or something, if that. And we had that shit out into the hallway, like first joint, you know?
Yeah.
So like I've been booking myself since I started. So you know what I mean? Same thing. It's like, I don't know if anyone has seen the shows I've done or seen where I've gone with it. I'm like, yeah, this is the advice I can offer you.
Totally.
Do that shit yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how
DIY,
the other shit,
man.
That's how the other shit came. You know what I mean? It's like, because I was doing it or I am doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then people were like, oh man, look what they're doing over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you said, it's not 98. You know, like,
you can't just sit outside Stone's Throw waiting.
Yeah, I was playing in the subway, like waiting for like the record exec who just happens to be taking the train home. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, man, you got to put your own shit together, put your own artwork together, call your photographer friend, be like, hey, can you shoot some press photo for me, shoot an album cover for me, learn a little quick Photoshop, or get your designer homie. You know, it's like, yeah, all the people I'm blessed to be like friends with. It's like a lot of that, you know, running a little inner conglomerate, baby conglomerate. You know, it's like all these departments, but like it's just like they're friends.
Yeah, and when you think of like your music career as a business, like it does kind of like break down to that. There's different words and different language, but a manager is basically your ops person, your operations person, and your agent's basically your sales department. They're getting you out there and making sales, and then there's the label. I guess at this point a label is just straight up the loan. The loan to start your next product.
They are at this point like they're
making the records,
the production plant.
You
know what I'm saying? They're just making what you give them. You know what I'm saying? Like and sure, like, you know, maybe their tag or their badge at the bottom of it you know, gets people a little more interested. But all of these systems have to work in tandem for things to work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an assembly line, you know?
Oh, totally. So, and that's Motown. That's like literally what Berry Gordy said. Like, it's always worth it. You played Detroit?
Oh yeah, we played the Fillmore out there.
Did you
I was just about to say, as soon as we got to fucking Detroit, I was like, we're going to Motown.
I
was like, pre-sound check.
Dude, I was like, I'm gonna pay for all your guys' tickets. Let's just go. Yeah.
Nah, when I was a kid, my Aunt Joyce, she was like watching us one time for my dad, and she like put the Temptations movie on when we were kids. You know, so like. I grew up like watching that shit. So once, you know, all of this, and I'm talking like 9, 10, 11. So there was no like, oh, one day I'll be on tour. And I'll go to Motown. So once I like am on the road and I'm like, damn, we got Detroit coming up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
touring,
dude, when I was in Atlanta, I went to the Dungeon, like just to like touch it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like I'm a real like music nerd historian about my shit. So like anytime we go to these like impactful cities, you know what I'm saying? Like like I'm
we're in Cleveland, let's go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let's just see what it's about.
You know what I'm saying? Like at Minneapolis they have I was out there for my boys over the Rhyme Sayers family. They had Soundset, which was this big festival they were doing, and I went out there. And at the after party, it was at First Ave, you know what I mean? And I ended up getting up on stage to get in like a little cypher basically. And the whole fucking time I was like, damn, like Prince stood here. Like Prince stood here.
So crazy.
And that's what's like tight as fuck about it is like to relate to like the athletes thing. It's like there's certain, I think what we understand is like Mike Tyson, right? Like there's only Mike Tyson and other boxers like Mike Tyson that know what it is like for someone to be like trying to knock your head off. And you're trying to knock their head off. Like, not because I watched from TV, not because I watched from my seat. It was my head that they were trying to take off. And I was trying to take their head off. And musicians, you know, obviously it's not as violent, but it's like, concept. When you're out there in front of, you know, 100 people, 200 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 10 people. It's like the only people who understand exactly how I'm feeling right now, exactly what this looks like, are the other people who've done it. You know? So it's like when I'm on like these stages, like even now, like I'll go like, you know, kick it with the homies like Atmosphere, and then they'll be on tour, and like we'll like hang out after the show or something, and like sometimes like I'll find myself like, you know, when I'm leaving to go home or like go take a piss and like the stage and the venue is like quiet now. You know what I mean? Like we were at the 5 Points Amphitheater and they were on tour with Sublime. Cool. And like I was Sublime and somebody else. But anyway, venue's empty now. We're just like kicking it by the buses and shit. And I just like take a look at like this empty venue. That's like massive. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, damn, like, this is so fucking like this is like what does it. This is what does it for me. You know what I mean? Like this is like that's my shit.
Yeah,
I just love that.
I want to get there.
Just
how do I get there?
I just want to look out on this shit and be like, damn, like that's the fraternity, the sorority of artists, you know, which is like there's the only people who know have done it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done it, not to alienate, not to separate, not to like not in any elitist form. It's just more like, no, there just is a difference.
There's
like we hear songs differently because we write them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might hear a song and go, oh man, why the fuck they say that? Or, or you just miss it completely.
Right.
I'm listening to fucking Katy Perry at the bar and I'm like, damn, Katy Perry's snapping right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like
totally.
Or whoever wrote it for her.
Whoever wrote this
is
like,
fucking snapping right now.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
That's how I felt about the Sabrina Carpenter recently.
Exactly.
Like, I'm like, oh man, I know I was just talking about the lyrics, but like, if that's what you're trying to do, you're trying to make a broad pop song, and it's like, well, we want this to go viral, and we need to have these little moments. They fucking killed it.
Yeah,
because all the lyrics, I know all the lyrics to that damn song.
Yeah,
and it's super easy, and kids can play it because it's a super simple song, and it just has everything, and that's why it has everything, and that was the intention.
And that, and you know what I will say, I appreciate like this album I've been working on. A lot of time I've spent listening to you listen to rap just because I listen to rap, but I've actually spent a lot of time just like listening to like other shit, like I said, like Katy Perry or like one hook I'm like really like, at least in the past year or so, I've been like, man, you know what hook is the best fucking hook? No Scrubs by TLC.
Oh my god,
you know what I mean? Like just that like hanging on the passenger side of it, best friends, right? Try to holler at me, you know, I'm like, man, like just the way that thing connects is so
it's pushing the beat forward.
So mind blowing to me, you know, and I'm always listening to that kind of stuff because at a certain point I think I was like, yo, I know how to rap. I know I rap well, you know. I'm not like same thing, like what are you just still like trying to prove that to people? You're still trying to prove it to yourself. It's like, you know, you're good at that, you know what I mean? So it's like, maybe not like let's make everything about trying to just rap the best and the planet, and how do you make like great songs, you know what I mean? And because you're gonna rap good in them songs anyway, because that's what my fucking brain is. I listen back to shit and I'm like, geez, like this entendre, where I was going with that, but that's not because I'm like sitting here on like the bus like scratching out the bar and counting the syllable. That's just like what's coming out of my brain, you know what I mean? But what I want to understand is like how fucking TLC was going so hard, or how Babyface wrote his shit so well that like it's like, you know, these eargasms in your mind, you know what I mean? Where you just, that song gets in your head and you're like, I've been thinking about this song for 30 fucking years, you know what I mean? Like,
especially when it's a song like that and you've heard it a million times, and then there's that moment where you actually sit down, like, let me really listen to this.
Yes, let me hear it.
Let me actually, I've been listening, but let me hear it now.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah.
And something with like TLC, 100%. It's like, how many times have I heard that song? But how many times have I really listened to the beat, the syllables?
At all. Waterfalls, you know what I mean?
Waterfalls, like the phaser they put on the guitar on Waterfalls, like wow, wow, like
R.I.P.
or the Ottawa. I guess that's what that sound is, but still, like, oh man, these beats are amazing and the production's insane, and it's like, wow, you just take it for granted because it's like, it was just on the radio. It's just a song I'm listening to on the radio.
And I have to say, you know, rest in peace to Rico Wade from Organized Noise, who
made the beat,
who was part. Organized Noise is his production trio that made the beat, but Rico Wade, legend, you know, just passed away like, it was like a month ago or so now. So while we're on the subject, it's like, dude, like that. You know what I mean? Like,
so much.
Just I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen their documentary.
I did just watch the new one.
What was the Art of Organized Noise? It came out like 2017.
Okay, maybe I didn't see that.
It was on Netflix. Now I've been trying to like buy it. Like I was like, where is this fucking documentary? I need that. But it's like, you know, he goes over a lot of the like the early Outkast, the early TLC, and what separated their music from like everything else was like having, you know, real bass, having real like keys and instruments and things like that, instead of just like, you know, drum machines and everything like that. And that's, you know, you think of like waterfalls, it's like that bass on,
yeah,
you know, like,
yep. And the horns,
like,
yeah.
It's like the way that shit,
yep.
you know, it's like, it's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. It's like stuff you can get close with like a VST with some of these virtual instruments, but
no, man.
There's something, yeah.
Well, you know what I love, like, because we have a lot of, we do a lot of like real instrumentation in my stuff too. Mm-hmm. And obviously I like adapted it after I like learned this.
Totally.
After I watched this documentary, I was like, fuck yeah, Organized Noise was doing it.
Yeah.
That's what we gonna do. You know what I mean? And I think, I mean, since my like first project ever, or second, I think I've had like the homie play the bass, play a bass line, but I just go deeper and deeper into it as time goes on. But I, you know, the thing about it is, just like my voice, just like your voice, like an instrument is like this person, say my friend Matt, you know, plays bass. No one on the planet Earth can play Matt's bass like Matt can play his bass. He may not even be the best bass player,
right,
by whatever metric you want to use, but no one can be him. Right. And the same thing is our voices, you know? So it's like part of having those, what I love about it is like part of that person speaking through that instrument, you know what I'm saying? So you get a one of a kind sound, you know what I'm saying? Because that's them, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no people, it's one of those things that like maybe an audience isn't necessarily like picking up on per se, but I think that's why we all pick up on stuff, because that individual is like, their soul is communicating through their instrument. You know what I mean? So,
it's true. Yeah, they say tone is in the fingers. That's what they say. You know?
For real.
Like I could set you up with like all of Eddie Van Halen rig.
Yeah,
you're not gonna sound like Eddie
at all.
You know, it's like because it was him
at all. And you can go on Logic and be like, "Oh, let me get the guitar pack."
Yeah,
but everyone has that guitar pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone has Eddie on the guitar.
Totally.
So get you an Eddie.
Yeah.
For real.
Find your Eddie.
Find an Eddie, man.
Find your inner Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah. Be yourself.
Yeah. And like, so you sent me a link going into this, so let's transition to the record.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Do we have a release date?
We do not yet. Okay. I keep changing the title. I have no breaking news.
There's no breaking news.
But you've heard it, though.
I have heard it.
There's breaking news, but as you can ask, and I'll just answer like that. Like,
is there a label?
So Brightside Entertainment is my label, and then we are now being distributed by Fat Beats. Shout out to Fat Beats.
Shout out to Fat Beats.
So that's a big deal. This will be the first full album that comes out with Fat Beats. Nice. We just dropped a single like with Sequel Records 3 weeks ago, the beginning of this month, and that came out on 7-inch vinyl.
Nice.
It's a side A, side B. Fat Beats also distributes Sequel.
Cool.
So that's super dope.
That's is the album art finalized?
The album art is going through transitions as well. I shot one cover at like I don't know, 65% done.
Okay.
Now I'm like, nah, different cover. I want to do something else. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm cool with like even us talking about it, because I think it's not only important to like cornerstone it, but like the process of creating it and finishing it is literally down to the like end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
And when I used to make projects, it's funny. I used to have like the title, the artwork, all that shit like ahead of time. It wasn't until the last one, Endless Bright Sides, what it's called, that I didn't have a name. I didn't have a cover, and I had to go through kind of a similar thing where it was just like, this name, nah, this name, nah, name, nah, and then like, you know, because I was like, I'm gonna let it tell me what it is, you know.
Yes.
Same thing with like art. So, I mean, same thing with writing. Same thing with, I've been on this thing where like I'm trying to just capture the most authentic like experience that I can, that I'm outputting. So like I'll write, you know, but I'll write like lines, you know, I'll write bars here and there. It's been a while that I've written like a full song and then came to the studio to match a beat to it. We usually come in here, whether that's me and Matt Maddox, whose studio we're in, or like another artist I've been working with, like my homie Jay James, where I go to their space and we create something from there. And I do it like that because at a certain point I was like, man, you know what? Like things would come out of my mind that I was like, oh man, that was last week, last month, last year. You know, like conclusions and feelings that, because I write pretty personal stuff, even if it doesn't always like come off that way, because I'm not necessarily on my writing like I felt like this and I felt like that.
Not being very literal.
No, I like to describe more. POV, I say, like, you know, the sun's cascading on the hill, you know what I mean? 85 on the thing, you know, chasing a thrill, like whatever, you know, it's like I'm describing for you like what was going on or what is going on. And the best way I've found to like get there right now, at least for me, is to be in that energy when you first hear that beat, or when it's made, or when you're making it, when you like come in and you're like, man, I want to do something like this, and and then put that shit down. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can write stuff, but you know, you might have felt like that last week. This week, you don't even connect with that shit you wrote. You know what I mean? So it's like, and again, like I look at writing almost more like it's like that's for the keeping the sword sharp, so that by the time it is tracking day, I'm sharp on it. You're
sharp, and then you can kind of figure out what are we gonna say on this.
Exactly. And just even know, like just it comes to you, you know, the stuff you've heard on the album.
Hey.
Okay,
so we have album art's being made. We know who's putting it out. Release date coming soon.
24 though. 24.
Yeah.
It will be this year.
Okay, it will be this year.
It'll be this year.
And I was listening to it and like, I was hearing already like synths and like real instrumentation. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And you know, we don't, you know, I was like, there's features and there's like, this is cool.
Yeah, you know, it's
I won't say too much, but I want to say, you know, it's awesome. I was trying to find, I was like, which one's my single? Which one's my single?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all so good.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I definitely like try to, I mean, it's always the goal, right? Like, but you know how you release, like a record?
Yeah.
And you're like, I have these singles and then I have these ones that like are, I guess you could call them album cuts.
Totally.
I almost tried to like get the closest I could get to like every song is a single.
Yeah.
You know, like this is X amount of singles in a row, but they are cuts too. You know what I mean? It's just like the presentation, the delivery, the writing, the sound, the catchiness of it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want any songs that felt like you could just skip over.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I listen back to it, I'm like, I feel like we like really hit it. You know what I mean? Just on everything is, you know, I mean, it's funny like speaking for your own album, but you know how it goes. It's like, I feel like everything that you're going to hear on this project is interesting, you know, thought provoking. It slaps. It fucking, you know what I mean?
Oh my God. Some of them I was like, whoa. I could feel it in my chest. And I was like, I don't even have a system like that in my car.
You got to listen to it in Dolby Digital.
Dude, yeah.
You know, like,
it's a full sound.
Yeah, I'm really big on, you know, like that kind of stuff.
That's an intentional.
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of sub bass, a lot of, you know what I mean? Like I just like
the first track like sets a tone.
Yes,
for sure.
That's what. Yeah. See, come on, man. That's my.
I listened to it.
That's my tone setter right there, man. That's like that's. I mean, you know, I was like, I went through a lot of shit between the last record and this record. My best friend passed. Rest in peace, Darnell Marshall. Yeah. My grandfather, my mom's father passed. Rest in peace, MOG. Right. But regardless, that happened. My best friend Darnell passed like the week before the album came out. So the last one. Yeah. So it was like I went into that morning, you know what I mean? Which was like already like living in a fucking hurricane of emotions of what's going on. But and then the following year my grandfather got sick. He had passed away. So, you know, and mind you, I started probably working on this as soon as that was done. You know what I mean? So all of this has been worked on like in that time, you know, different like breaks and moments. It wasn't like so much like, all right, we've got 9 months, and it was just more like I'm just making stuff. And there's a lot of like healing and human being that I had to do outside of creating anything. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just felt like this next thing, it's weird when you go through that, because it's like, okay, is my next album like a mourning album, a sad album? And I'm like, fuck no, because like that's not how, not to say that that's not like important, but
totally,
how do you mourn while being, you know, like how do you stand up? Like I need to stand up, you know what I'm saying? Because the people that I love and, you know, had, that are still on this with us in the physical form, and the ones that are not, you know, loved me, believed in me, I loved them, believed in them, you know, loved them still. But that's what they gave me and their time on the earth, you know what I mean? So like just to honor that.
I was gonna say, how do we honor them?
How the fuck do we honor that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not gonna come out with like some record like, oh man, I'm lost and my fault. Was I lost? For sure. Was I having moments of doubt? I mean, shit, man. For a minute, I was like, man, I don't even like know how I'm supposed to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I just need to pause.
How do we keep operating the same way when everything has changed?
Everything's changed. You
So and I think from an artist perspective and an audience perspective, like, how should we expect things to stay the same when we know your life has drastically changed? You know, it's like, this is just another chapter.
Exactly.
Now I have to act accordingly.
Exactly.
You know,
but it's a beautiful thing to. You know, it's not even, the only reason I wouldn't even use the word opportunity is because you didn't ask for this to happen. It's just like, oh, this is just the circumstance. Yeah. And you know what? What's going on? And through that, I found like power of myself. Right. You know, because it is such a heavy thing to go through. You know what I mean? Where you're like, this is outside of music and goals and dreams. This is life and death, man. Right. You know what I mean? And when you experience that, you and have to come through that and be there for other people, be there for yourself, get a new, fresh perspective. You know, obviously, yes, you learn the fragility of life, but you also like realize like you have this in you all along, because your people that saw it in you, they didn't just see it just to be like cute about the shit. You know what I mean? Like your friend who believed in you. So it's time that you believe in yourself.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that tone setting you're feeling is like me being on some like get the fuck out of my way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everybody in the way, move.
Totally.
Just move.
And it's like like a camera lens, right? It's like it's all fuzzy and everything, and then you can sharpen it, and you're like, this is it. Yeah. Now I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I have a goal, I have a mission, I have a calling.
Yes, calling. Like this plane is taking off.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and this is that chapter. This is that era.
Yeah.
And like, it's all about putting the pieces, like the music video, all the other things. Like, how do we tell this story of what this album is ultimately about?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the things that we're, putting together now. I mean, I got another video we shot out in New York. I can say that.
Cool. Okay.
For that track.
Is that being edited now?
For that track. It's already done.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just, we just got to like hold on to them. Yeah. And then when it's release time, just bing, 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 carpet bomb a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
Is your head even in the space of like, we gotta hire PR and we got to get on a blog, or like, are you even thinking about that crap anymore? I feel like the moment has passed, but
well, you know what,
the hip hop landscape, what's it like?
You know, I had a really great relationship with like Vice and Noisy and shit, and they were supportive the whole time with the last release. But I think that they, like a lot of companies, went through like a lot of like changes recently. Yeah. So, you know, I have some people, writers and people that I keep great relationships with, or just not like I keep, but they're just like, we just connected over the years. And I'm a maintainer. Yeah, I'm still friends with the guy who wrote about me first. You know what I'm saying? Totally. Like, so like shout out to John Hill, see, boom. Yeah. And he's got hella tattoos and shit. You know, he's like first person to write about me for them. But I think a lot of companies like went through changes. So as far as like what we will do for this, it's kind of like I just, you know, look around and see, reach out to the people that I've been thinking about, you know what I mean? And I also start doing a little like, oh man, here's some advanced listens and things like that, you know, and see what comes together, you know what I mean? I have never actually really, I think, hired PR before.
Okay, yeah.
So, thankfully, you know, and I've been on a lot of like pretty major publications.
Totally.
Just because like shit just like worked out that way, you know what I mean? And I tried to hire a PR once, and they were like not able to tell me what they're gonna do, so it didn't seem like a valuable, you know, asset. And that's not to say I don't, you know, want someone who would be great PR. It's just when you're independent like this and you've like done your own like shit going on, it's kind of like you're not like actively looking for somebody to like row my boat for me. I'm rowing my boat. You know, if you want to come row with me, like,
get me something I can't get.
Yeah, please.
Like bring in something like, you know, like I've been thinking about it too with this next record. I didn't do any PR in my last record because I was like on this vibe of like, it's done, it's over, Pitchfork is done, like it's all done.
Yeah.
But now I see it as like, oh man, like can you get me on podcasts?
Yeah,
like, how do I get on that show?
Yeah.
Even like something like Jimmy Fallon, I'm like, I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think that has passed too. It's like, okay, well, I don't really want to do that. Can you get me on like so-and-so? Like they have a cool podcast. Like that's where I see it'd be more valuable. Can you get me on like so-and-so's cooking show? Can I do that? You know, like something weird like that.
Try to get on Action Bronson's show.
Dude, yeah. Like, can I eat Action? Can I work out with Action Bronson? Like, can that be a video? Like,
yeah, exactly.
How do we do that? Like,
and I think that's like, I think to your point, like, the blogs something and everything weird. Is cool for, you know, we all still want Rolling Stone to cover us.
Oh, yeah.
I still want a Pitchfork review. Yes. You know what I mean? I still want a Fader thing. Like,
100%.
The idea, though, is that, yes, there are new forms in which, like, media and getting things out to people that, you know, the blog thing can be great for, like, the interest, but also the flex, you know, oh man, post a screenshot of like, go read this. Are everyone going to go read it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not on that computer, but the point is like, it's still an accomplishment. You know, I want to be on fucking Fallon. I want to be on Jimmy Kimmel because I just want to sit on that couch too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and chop it up and just be like, damn, look, like we did it too. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, there's all this new media. There's just a lot of ways to skin a cat and get a record out. You know what I mean? So you gotta like, you know, you just kind of get creative, and what will be with this one is what will be with this one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you went to Complex Con? Like, what kind of stuff are they doing right now?
Complex
Con.
The only thing
I know is Hot Ones.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Ones obviously that's
monster
bucket list.
Yeah.
I need Sean Evans.
Let's make it happen.
If you need independent musicians, we're here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 100. Like,
make it happen.
But no, you know, Complex Con, at least it's very heavy in the like fashion and streetwear. Convention.
Yeah.
The music is there, but you know, it's like a convention. It's there to like entertain the guests of that ecosystem. I go down because, you know, it's a good like thing to kind of like hang out and just
kind of see what's going on.
Politic with some people. You know what I mean? Like it's good to get out and. I don't want to use that networking word.
Sure.
Because,
it's got a little stigma around that word.
Well, we're not going there with looking for a means to an end.
Yes, correct.
You're going there just to like check it out.
Yeah.
Go there, check it out. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to go to his show tonight and I'm going to get him to get me on the show. It's like, no. Go
and then once I
check
got him, I'll go up to the next guy, and it's like there's no ladder climbing.
No. You're just going to like check it out. Have a good time. And in doing so, maybe you run across conversations or people who, even some of those things are cool because, like, some people will, like, show you love that you didn't even, like, realize were tapped in with you like that. You know what I mean? And you just, and if you get nothing else, you get that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll see.
That stuff is cool. Yeah, I used to love, when I was living in LA, I used to watch that Joe Budden academic show.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great show. Everyday Struggle. Yeah. That was a good show.
Damn, Everyday Struggle, man.
That was fun. That's when I was in LA, that era.
Yeah.
2015, 16.
I love a good, like, that one was cool because it was, like, the first, like, hip-hop debate show. You know what I mean? Like, where it was, like
First Take.
Yeah, First Take or, like, Meet the Fucking Press or something.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Just, like, going at it about things, you know what I mean? And it was, it has like the various voices of like, of like Joe Budden representing like, okay, this is the more like seasoned veteran voice, a mature like voice, academics representing like, the internet.
Yes.
New listener voice. And, more than anything, I mean, just like watching like a young guy and an older guy have a conversation.
Battle it out, yeah.
It's kind of like, I enjoy the battle of wits, like sometimes it's like I wish in culture like these conversations that people have weren't always so like, oh, we've got to be agreeable and like respect everyone. Yeah, I guess sure, like respect people's opinions, but like if you don't like something, you're a hater. If you like something, you're dick riding, and it's like, and both of those things can be true, but it also is like, you know what I mean? Like if your dad is telling you like, oh, you and your friends are fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean that like he's just being a hater. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we've lost that like nuanced understanding of like just, and I say this just because like we are young people.
Totally.
And I think young people, so we come from that side. We are internet children.
Yeah.
We are young people. Even as adults, we're young adults. Our problem or our thing to get over is like being able to process an elder opinion without viewing it as like some sort of attack on your generation, your generation, your independence, your character. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say everybody, but it's like, but hey, like, be strong enough in your resolve to not be overly sensitive too. You know what I'm saying? Because strength is not like, oh, hey, you're making me feel like you're gaslighting me or something. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you could be like, that's your opinion. Yeah. Cool. I respect that. That's your opinion. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I'll take the time to consider that. Or maybe I won't take the time to consider that. Yeah. But like, it's an opinion. And when you really get to a place where you like, you understand yourself and the things that you think and how you feel and your heart and your mind. Yeah. I think you just like, shit don't affect you enough to be upset like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, totally. Somebody's opinion's gonna make me mad. Like, come on, man. Like, gas prices make me mad.
Yeah, that does make me
not
mad.
Not even mad, but just you know what I'm saying? Like there's actual things that like affect me.
We just got out of like everyone hating millennials. Yeah. And now it's gone to Gen Z. Every like old person's like bitching about Gen Z. They're entitled. They're this. I was like, you guys said that about us. Like, so I'm like, okay, this is just gonna happen every 10 years.
And now millennials are fucking saying it about Gen Z.
About Gen Z, like, and then the Gen Z will be talking about Gen Alpha. Like, it's just, like, oh, are we just gonna just do this forever? Oh, I'm gonna check out. Then I'm over it.
Exactly. And it's like at a certain point, like I love one of my favorite movies is The Matrix. Yeah. It's like at a certain point, you're like, dude. If you see what's going on,
pattern, if
you
it's
have
like
to
repeating,
take it out of you, take the plug out of your head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't jump in this shit.
Oh,
because that's what all the things that people like have something to say about in society. It's like, that is it. You're just on a hamster wheel. Get off the wheel. Just just take a step to the right.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, everybody's on these wheels
every 10 years.
Wow, I'm never getting back on that wheel again.
Yeah.
Like, because this is the distraction. This is why I can't, my dating life is this, my job is this, my career is that. It's because they got you on the fucking wheel, man.
Yeah.
You got to get off the wheel. Just like, pay attention and try to like comprehend what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't feel threatened by it. Don't feel intimidated by it. You know what I mean? I was just talking to somebody the other day about AI.
Oh,
and she was like just talking about like AI and like how does this like replace?
They're
and
kinda
I was
nervous,
and I was like, well, it doesn't seem like it necessarily replaces much to me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just now understanding this process of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, once upon a time, Adobe was CS5.
Yeah.
Now it's Creative Cloud.
Oh, totally.
Don't like be like, oh man, it's fucking it's
everyone was freaking out about the
program.
Cloud. Like, what is that?
Just understand what it is.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
exactly.
it,
Oh man, I don't know. I think also with a lot of that stuff, I think we are, we're coming off the heels of the Drake and Kendrick beef. And I feel like that was also, it was a fun distraction.
It was that was a good one.
That was really fun.
I'll take that distraction. That was a good one.
But I still feel like that was also played a role in the. I was like, what was happening when we were so focused on that?
I know. You're like, where?
What's actually happening?
Did any
Am I missing it? Am I missing
oil tankers disappear or some shit?
Yes.
Like,
Is money missing now because we were so worried about the beef?
I know, man.
What was your take on the beef?
Come on, man. Listen, I love both artists.
I know.
As a fan of both of what they do. To argue anything but that Kendrick Lamar completely like gave a master class in like skill, artistry, like vision, all that shit. It's like, bro, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, I was listening to one of these like breakdown videos this morning, actually, like for that song 616 in LA.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, it's like he's writing from Drake's, and these are obviously theories that people have, but as a rap writer or whatever, it's like, okay, I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, wow. And even the
layers.
Things that, and even the things I comprehended on my own listening, I was like blowing my fucking mind. Like, that's not like the fact that this is even like a conversation that people want to have. It's just like, objectively speaking, like no, dude, it's like night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like one of those situations, like I jokingly say, like, if your friend was like trying to fight a guy and you were like, I don't know, man, like he's kind of big, pause, or but like but like he's a strong guy or something.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, he's probably knock your head off.
Yeah.
It's like you like try to tell your friend, and if your friend goes out and gets punched in the face, you're kind of like, dude, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you, like, leave him alone. Just leave him alone, man.
I think people will be treating Kendrick like that from now on. Leave him alone.
I think everybody did. This is just Drake.
Just Drake.
It was just Drake. But shout out, hey, man.
My one of my favorite parts of it is J. Cole just stepping out.
J. Cole said, I was like, I want no part of this.
So it's like, so that's on brand for J. Cole. I like the move. Everyone was hating on him. I was like, dude, I liked it. Even when he did it, I was like, good.
Yeah, I would
Don't get involved, man. Like,
you know what, man? On second thought, my man said that.
Dude,
shit.
there's times I've done that in real life. Like,
my man said that shit ain't.
I was gonna like write a nasty comment online. I was like, what am I doing?
Man, I do that every time.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what am I doing?
Every time. I'm like, listen, y'all not gonna get that out of me. No screenshots. No Twitter banter.
Dude, that's why I got off Twitter.
Like,
I just got off Twitter because I was like arguing with people the whole especially when we were all locked down within the house.
Same.
Oh my god, I was like, this is not good, dude. I can't be arguing about politics.
Well, that's what I said. That was my last. Like, that was it. Once that, I said like, never again.
Checking out.
And just the way you like, the thing about it is like, you got to look at it like, these are not arguments and conversations where people are trying to get to like a point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's like whatever I say, you rebut you refute,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a waste of fucking time.
I know.
I don't want to have conversations.
No one's gonna
with people
change
like
their
that.
mind. I've been like trying to like pride myself in like changing my mind actually.
Yeah.
When someone says something and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
I think differently now.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, Erykah Badu said the
Oh.
man that says he knows something or knows something knows that he knows nothing at all.
Right.
Which
yeah.
is actually part of where I got my stage name from.
Oh,
like
really?
the whole like Amir says nothing.
yeah.
I mean, it was something that was said to me,
Mm-hmm.
but a big part was the Erykah Badu line was she's just about the idea of knowing that to know is to know that I don't know anything.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
so. In a way, that's I'm saying stuff. I'm saying what I think. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm spreading my thoughts and shit.
and
But
your curiosity and
but that's who knows. You decide what that is.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not telling
you
you
take what
to
I
do.
say and make it applicable to your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Are we going through the same kind of thing? Okay, here's how I feel. This is what helped me.
Yeah. Even
You
in
know?
this fucking podcast. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yo, I'm telling you stuff, but like, I mean, this
Yeah.
is your. What do I know? This is what.
This is what worked for
This
me.
is what worked for me. This is
Yeah.
what's working for me. This is what I'm doing. I got up and I wore white socks.
Totally.
You might prefer black.
I rented a car, and you could think, well, I don't want to keep wasting money on renting a car to go on tour. I should buy one. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
do
you
it.
should.
Do it. I don't know
That-
what your
that-
budget's looking
yeah.
like.
It might work for you.
It definitely might.
Make those payments and go on tour as much as you want. You don't have to worry about that
Yeah,
part.
get a Sprinter. You
Get a
know what I
Sprinter.
mean?
Like, yeah.
I may not want to be responsible for a Sprinter.
100%. 100%.
I'm
yeah.
cool on being responsible for a Sprinter.
For a rental, I take the rental back. I don't think about it ever again.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Our last tour, we got we have flights and then rental cars. We did
Oh, that's a pain in the ass.
yeah, but it was cool though, just to
Yeah.
not, it cuts down obviously on driving.
Right.
Then you have to get to the airport,
Yeah.
in between dates and shit. But it was I think it was West Coast leg. We did no. We would start Chicago, drove to Ohio, drove to,
Wow,
Denver,
yeah.
and then fly to Northeast and do Boston.
That's
and
good,
do
yeah, 'cause then
Brooklyn,
you don't have to-
do Philly, fly, and then do
That's awesome.
so to the different pockets.
Oh, that's cool. I
so
like
that.
that.
Was cool.
Yeah,
I
like
liked
that.
it. I was very. It was a good. I didn't
Yeah.
feel beaten down or anything.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah. Oof. We did this one. Went from California
Yeah.
to Chicago. Played this Chicago festival. The next morning, had to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, see.
and head to Connecticut. Oh my god.
No, see,
And then I got
that's what-
COVID, and I was like, oh my, this is awful. Take me home. It was.
How did
brutal.
you even do so COVID on tour? What
I didn't realize I had it.
because you're the lead.
I woke
right?
up feeling like shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, we got one show, dude. Let's just finish this last show.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was playing drums, and I was like, I feel fucking terrible. Then the next morning, I felt even worse. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then when I got home, I tested, and I was like, oh, this is really not good. I didn't know I had. I just thought I was sick.
Damn.
But I didn't realize it was COVID until I got home.
I mean, it's not funny. It's funny
In
now.
retrospect.
Well, it's funny now.
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
thank you, Cleveland, and you're just yell, just COVIDing the front row. You know what I mean?
It was open. It was like an outdoor beer festival
yeah.
thing.
That's why they started putting the crowd a little
Oh yeah,
10
yeah.
feet back. You
Yep,
know what
yep.
I mean? You're
That was 2021, so it was right
Yeah.
when things got out.
yeah.
It was a crazy time, man.
I don't know. I did a couple.
Are we playing shows? Are we not playing shows? Is everyone wearing a
Yeah,
mask
yeah.
in the club? What are we doing?
Yeah. I did a couple of those spread out shows, especially because around the Black Lives Matter protests and
yes.
things, people were doing a lot of events, and they, I did one where it was at Pan Pacific Park,
Mm-hmm.
with, a stage and everything, but everybody was on blankets,
Spread
out,
yeah.
which was so it was very different to
yeah,
be
totally.
all right, hands up. And it's yeah, people sitting out. You're like, damn, and you're moving, but everybody's still
Everyone's
and
staying
shit.
8 feet.
Yeah,
Everyone's They took it serious here in LA.
No, I'm not mad at it.
I like the way we did it too. I know it's a controversial opinion, but fuck, man, we got through it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm cool. Like, I don't, if
if the intention was like we're trying to save lives, okay, I'll fucking do it, man.
I'm not mad at it. If Florida want to stay open and throw parties and shit, good for Florida.
Oh my God, yeah.
I live in California.
Yeah.
I was cool with sitting in the house, I mean,
yeah.
I feel like we needed, obviously life and sickness and all these things first, but once we like stabilized as a community and it was just like, okay, cool, like, you can go see your friends, just, try to keep it minimal, what I mean? I think people got to experience life. I know I did, in a way that like kind of haven't had, at least since you were a kid, where it's just like a lot more focused on like the joys of things and not just like the rat race of things, which has even been an adjustment, like getting back into, whether it's albums coming out or tours again, is like because of this, we all got a little like, even if you rehearsed constantly, like I think we did like a jam van and all that stuff over the course of that. So I can't say I was like rusty. Yeah. But like, getting out in front of people for the first time was definitely like, I forgot what this like feels like. I had to just like get the like cobweb off, what I mean? And even just like, I remember I opened for Killer Mike last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, at the Ace Theater, and that's the first show I did where I was like 100% sober. Not that I get like,
but you get a couple drinks.
I get faded,
a couple drinks before you go on stage.
I have like a beer and a shot. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like occasionally,
that is that sweet spot. Too.
I've hit someone's joint, but now I don't even be doing that shit. But like,
2 beers before the set is like the sweet spot.
Yeah, where you're just like,
I like it,
just enough for you to get out there and be like, let's do this.
Crazy, yeah.
But I was dead sober for that one, just because I was like, all right, opening for Killer Mike, this is like a big deal. I want to just like, I wanted to get to the crowd just raw me, because sometimes, I mean, you know how it goes, like all shows fly by like faster than you have a 45-minute set, and before you know it, you're like, damn, I'm like 2 songs away from done.
I'm
like,
almost done.
I'm flying through this thing, and then it's over and you're backstage and you're like, I did it, but I don't know, I at a certain point I wanted to get a lot more, like I wanted to remember these moments more, because this is our life. This is my life. This is your life. We are here, and as blessed as we are to do this one, you hope to be able to do it again. You work hard to be able to do it again. You know what I mean? Nothing is like guaranteed. Right. So when you're in these moments, like I don't know. I just wanted to like be a lot more present. You know what I mean?
Yes. I was gonna say I try to do the same thing when I'm at those big shows. Yeah. Or any shows, but like definitely the big ones where I'm like, dude, I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah, right, man.
What the,
just fucking like Lollapalooza. You're
maybe
like,
I'm forgetting the lyrics or something because I'm just like think about the soak it in.
Yeah. And that's the hard part, is you just have to be like, because you feel like you're like sober, so you're like, or you're just like present. Yeah. So you're like feel the shit. You're like ooh, the nerves. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, okay, get the word. Tone it right, get yourself together, you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, you got like, oh, when's that little break where I'm not singing, it's just instrumental or something. Like, okay, this is it. Yeah. Feel it, because other than that, I'm like lyric, guitar part. Like I'm focused on something else. Like, did that person just fuck up? Like,
because you also
what was that? What was
you're up there with a whole squad, so it's like, I mean, I have my, as long as my DJ is running everything,
as long as the gear doesn't shut down for some reason,
he didn't like jump into the wrong song, you know what I mean? Then we're like, all right, but like for the most part, it's like, being present. But that's what's funny too, is like sometimes it's like freestyling, man. Like, I don't know if you get this moment, but sometimes you're like, man, I don't even really, it's not like I'm remembering the words. They're just there.
Yeah. It's like you're a step ahead of yourself.
Yeah, it's muscle memory, man. That shit's just like boop, 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 word, Because I think even if anything, when you like start actively being like, okay, what is the next line? That's when you fucking forget the line. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta like
what rhymes a shirt?
No, that's when it doesn't. You know what I mean? You just gotta
you're
like,
out of the flow state.
Just gotta like let it flow state.
Yeah, that flow state. Yeah,
that's why you black out. Like not black out like alcohol, but black out like I love performing because it's one of the few things that you do that you're like, I was 100% present for this moment. You know?
Yep.
You can, you know, ride a bike and think about what you're going to eat when you get home. You can drive a car and think about like what your girl's up to. You know what I mean? Like when you're up there, if you're in, when you're in that mode, oh, nothing else exists. Like it's like the most, it's euphoric feeling. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know anything else that like, you know, maybe skateboarding for me at one point, you know, but even like that is fear involved.
Right. Don't eat shit. Like,
but like, you know, when you're in your peak, like you definitely are like present with what you're doing. So yeah, I just love that. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
It makes me sad for some of the musicians I know who have like stage anxiety and like can't go on stage. I'm like, oh dude, it's the best, just like don't think about it. And it's like there's nothing you can do to tell them, talk them out of it, but like I'm like, dude, if you could just like let it all go and enjoy the stage, it's so fun. Like, but it just takes reps, a lot of reps, I think.
It does. And to
get comfy on stage and like get comfortable with the mic and be able to talk into it and talking from people. And I don't know. It just took reps and reps and reps. It's not something that started. Like I have bands in town who are like, how'd you do that? How'd you get so good at like talking? And I'm like, I just kept doing it. And the podcast actually helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I first started doing it, I would like listen back and edit when I was editing. I was like, oh man, I'm like talking too fast. I'm doing it now too, but like, or I'm mumbling or something's happening, or I'm like, okay, I need to start enunciating.
Yeah, let you hear me.
Yes.
You know,
But also that can be the effect, like, you know, at least for with rap, like the whole mumble rap thing. But that could be the effect. That is the style. That is the thing that they're doing.
There is no one way, man. There is no spoon,
no rules,
man. You know what I'm saying?
No rules.
No rules. And that's the thing. It's like you said, like, I don't know. I was telling a friend the other day I think they were asking me about like stage and performing, and I was like, you just have to look at the audience and be like, they're more afraid of me than I am of them.
Oh yeah.
Even if that's just some like mumbo jumbo I'm just inventing, like it's the advice people give you when you see coyotes.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, the coyote is probably more like, you know, whatever. You have to look at like performing like that sometimes. It's like you just like gotta get out there and be like, I'm not afraid of you. You afraid of me. You know what I mean? Like
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of you motherfuckers. I'm not scared of you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like it's true, man. Like you know, at least, you know, it's, I mean, whatever you got to do to psych yourself up, because you're right. It's like for people who have stage anxiety.
Because not even
we all have stage anxiety. Like, don't take this.
Right.
We're not back there just like, no big deal. You
yeah,
know, it's like,
no.
I'd stop talking to people for like 10 minutes too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
have your moment.
Yeah, just to be like, I'm just like focused on the first step. You know, the first line, like when I get out, just the first, as soon as I grab that mic and I just go, hello,
yeah. And then they yell back at you, and all right, let's do it.
And
We're on.
We're in.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Seatbelt, you know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
But yeah, I think, I wish too I could like give people that, because the funny thing with even me, man, is like people are always like, oh man, you're so like talkative with people. I was like the shyest kid growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's,
I was so quiet. Yeah.
You know, and it sucks because people think, it sucks when you like, you wish people could like understand that.
Yeah.
When they see what you have become in yourself.
Yeah.
Because I truly am like, man, it's like an anything is possible thing. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, if you can think that is me, or is me now,
right?
Who I was before, or who I started
I was afraid
as.
to talk in class. I was afraid to do all that shit.
Girls,
class, is the worst.
All that shit. I was like,
couldn't do it.
I couldn't do none of that, man. I remember like my first like girlfriend ever. Like I remember we were hanging out at my friend's house, and we were like in the laundry room. It was just me and her, and she was like, yo, like, come kiss me. And I was like, nah, you know? I like could not, man.
Yeah.
I've never like, I mean, you know, it was just like so, it was the first time my body was like, nah, don't go over there. Like I could not move.
I was way more comfortable like on AIM in texting.
Oh yeah.
That I was like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll text you all night.
I'll be over here. Yeah.
What you up to? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but I could not do it in person.
Which is funny because now I hate texting.
I hate that shit.
Like from like just like I don't want to sit here and text all day. You know what I mean? Like, but also like if I'm gonna be like flirting, I'm like, this just lands way better when I'm in front of you. This is not. I gotta put LOL.
Oh, it always sounds corny. Like when you read it after the fact, you're like, I'm so corny.
I don't be over there trying to like text flirt. I'm like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, let's hang out. You know what I mean? I'll flirt there.
Yeah, I'll flirt then. I can't flirt through Instagram DM.
No.
This is weird.
Hell no. I'm like, my Instagram DMs be like, and then I'll be so like. If I was DMing somebody, I'm like super like, oh, you look great.
You look great.
I like your vibe.
Yeah, cool vibe.
Just wanted to stopping by. I'm super like, nah, I ain't about to be up in nobody's DMs.
Man,
like,
I did the Tinder thing. I met my girlfriend on Tinder.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if it's like the same thing as music. It's like it's what you're putting into it.
Yeah.
And I put into it with the intention of like, I want to meet someone and have like a real connection.
Yeah.
I just, you meet like 20 people and you don't feel it, but then you meet that one person. Like, oh, okay.
Well, shout out
That's
to
what
that.
you want too. You want that too? Okay, good.
Shout out to that.
Yeah. It's interesting though. It's fun.
Who knows?
After the show, I'm usually like that. After the set, I get quiet. Mm-hmm. It's like I was screaming, I was running around, whatever. And then after, I'm like, sitting in the chair, like everyone's like excited, like let's have a shot. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you just gotta come back.
Can I get back to?
Yeah, you gotta come back down to like reality.
Yeah,
first. Not even reality. It's all reality. But you were just in your peak.
Yes,
like
I was all the way up here. You know can I get back to here again?
Yeah. You were out there being the athlete. You were out there being the fucking gladiator, you know?
Yeah.
And now you're
running
just like,
around and
we survived. You know what I mean? Like
on the next, sell some merch, get paid on the next show. Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
It's the best though, man. Like thank you to the universe for bringing not only us together.
Totally.
From just this,
one show
in
LA,
and from this like world of like. Making music and creating and getting out there and like playing and taking it to people and like and this is just what's beautiful about it.
Right.
It's like you can have connections with people, you can appreciate each other's art. You know what I mean? You can.
Yes, we're in different genres but ultimately the through line of the creative process is the same.
Yeah.
Even it's like, well, we book shows like this and this kind of happens like, know, we had different expenses, like whatever, but it's still through the same energy, same process and purpose.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I love. Like I said so much about like, even when I'm making music and like collaborating with people, it's like, I may not be the rapper who's like, oh man, let me like get all these other rappers on my shit. But it's like Matt, like, me and Matt met. He has like a jazz project with another friend of his called the Roswell Universe that they do, and we met like around the time that they were really really heavy doing that. And then like a friend of mine or a friend of both of ours, her name's Daisy World. He just mixed her last record and worked on it, and while we've been like working on ours and like she's like. I don't know if she's kind of like, she reminds me of like when I first heard her, I was like, damn, this is like some neo soul, but like neo soul band kind of thing, if that makes sense. Indie meets neo soul, and these are all friends of just like different genres that we've grown really like cool and tight and close and collaborated and things like that over the past 5 years or something like that, more than that. I don't even know. It's been a minute now. So it's like, yeah, this is, you know, this is these getting out and extending like that space in embracing this thing, you know what I mean, and not being like, they're not like me, or this isn't like me, or blah 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 blah. No, actually, they're a lot more fucking like you than you think.
You would imagine, yeah, totally.
Like, and if you're only looking at, you know, I mean, shit, this metaphorically goes into so many things in society, but it's just like, yeah, it's like if you get outside of like you and what you have, the sense of self that you've like constructed for yourself, and not take that as like I only want to be around people that wear the same size pants as me and the same color Vans as me, and you end up finding like, oh, we like the same shit, you know what I mean? We like the same, you know, like I said, the people I just mentioned with Matt, Daisy, they love fucking hip hop music, rap music, like all kinds of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I might love, you know, this band or that, you know, me and Matt were in here listening to fucking Portishead while we were getting this album together. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, and I think that's what I love about, like, I think I've started to embrace all of that when I was definitely making this album. Every album I kind of like embrace it a little bit more, but this one was like going all in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And, it's just like, I think that's makes the shit great, man. Yeah. That's what makes the pasta. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's like it's like making your own noodles. You know, you can buy fucking store-bought noodles, you know what I mean? But like,
it's different when you make it.
I'm over here making my own pasta right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, metaphors for days. For days.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, is there anything else we want to talk about this album?
Man, I think that
we covered a lot.
I think we've covered a whole lot. Yeah. Honestly, I'm happy. Thank you for having me,
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad we could do this.
Come on now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the album, just like, get ready for it. You know?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Tune in for it. Play it. Buy it. Spin it. You know what I mean? Like, go, just come on. Like,
how can people find you online?
AmirSaysNothing on literally everything. You can Google it. You know, I'm the only one. You know, you can buy all the records and shit via like Fat Beats, Sequel Records for the newest one. Endless Brightside's available on my website, brightsideworldwide.com. And then, yeah, it's on Spotify. You can find it.
Hell yeah.
A quick Google will find them everywhere. And then, yeah, just look out for the new record, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah. Sounds good.
Pretty simple, standard shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Maybe we're going to definitely have some sort of, we just had a release party at Virgil Normal. Shout out to Virgil Normal. For the single. And then we're going to have another bigger situation going on for the full album. So if you're in LA or the Southern California region, or Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, neighboring states,
make the drive.
If you want to fly,
make the flight.
Yo, come fly. It'll be free, because right now I'm on this thing too, because we did Gold Diggers, we did the Echo. I was like, and this is the last thing we can say about this, post COVID, getting back to shows and shit, selling tickets, doing the whole thing, like, it's cool, it's great, glad we're doing that. But I've been really like like I said, getting back on, like, I want to do some free things. I want to do some things. Events. Yeah, it's just like it can make the process just like, man, I'm showing up to like connect and love, and be with people who appreciate what we do, support what we do, and not only just be on some like, I'm in the green room until it's time for me to come out. Like,
I'm mysterious. I'm this.
Yeah, that's, there's a time and place for all that. But right now it's about, getting the people,
making a connection,
getting the people hyped. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to Mathematics.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Dante Elephante. Shout out to Fat Beats. Shout out to Brightside. Shout out to my mom, your mom, my dad, your dad, everybody's dad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to brothers, sisters, lovers, misses, mistresses, misters. You know what I mean? Whoever. I think that's I'll save the rest for the album.
All right.